What's up, everyone? So this is gonna be my first trade recap that I'm gonna do, and this trade made me like 2k on the evals of Lucid Trading. Basically, I'm gonna implement how to use the strategy and what I did to find my strategy throughout the day. So first thing first, we're gonna go to the daily time frame and look where price opened today. So this is our 12 a.m. opening from tonight, and this is one of our key levels that we're going to use throughout the day. So this is one that we want to watch. Afterwards, we're going to go to the 4-hour time frame and see if we can spot a high time frame PD array that we can tap into. And this was exactly the case today. So we had our 4-hour fair value gap, and this was my target to tap into informal to go lower. But throughout this one and throughout the 4 hours that we had here, we wanted to buy or take long to the 4-hour fair value gap. So what I did is I basically looked throughout the day what price did. So we marked out here our opening candle, and we saw price barely touched or did go above the 12 a.m. opening candle. So what can we implement out of that? That we manipulated the whole time down. Informal to rally up, aka to fill our high time frame PD array, and informal of this PD array to go lower. I took the buys from this PD array, to this PD array, and I took it on the 1 minute time frame. So what do we want to do? First things first, we want to mark out our New York opening, and this was, I think, right here. Yes, so this was our opening price at the New York session. So what can we determine on that? We want to see a manipulation away from the direction that we want to trade into. So we saw here, we manipulated down to this point right here. Also, in that point, we have our 15-minute fair value gap. And that was just an indication for us to go higher off of that. So we mark those out and we wait and see what price is going to do. This was a perfect example of it today, and we took a beautiful buy of it. So after we marked out our PD arrays to tap into and we watched to our New York manipulation, we want to look for our 10 a.m. opening, aka or 16 in the afternoon, and that was, I think, this candle right here. So yeah, we opened our 10 a.m. right here. So what do we want to see after we have our 10 a.m. opening? We want to see, again, a manipulation away from the targets that we're going to take, or the trade that we're going to take. So we see right here, we manipulate down informal to make our rejection block. And this is also a very good sign because we've swept out equal lows, intermediate liquidity, and we also stayed in our fair value gap. So we knew this would gonna be a probably very good rejection block. Informal to make it a rejection block, we need to sweep some form of liquidity or tap into a PD array and close into the other direction, aka in the direction we want to take our trade. So that's perfectly what price did. We opened, and 1 minute right after we made our rejection block. So what can we indicate based off that? We want to go higher, and this is where I use the Fibonacci tool to look for my OTE or my optimal trade entry. And you see the OTE is perfectly between the 0.79 extension and the 0.618. So we want to set our limit right here. And with a stop loss, this is a higher stop loss than usual. Mostly I take 10 points, so that would have been right here. But we wouldn't have a stop out, but it would have been riskier. So my stop loss was right here, and my target was actually the 4-hour fair value gap, because this was a unfilled imbalance, so we knew price would tap into it. And we see that's exactly what price did. And that's exactly why I took this trade also, and why it was such a good trade. Because we've manipulated the whole day down under the 12 a.m. opening. Our 10 a.m. opening was a perfect manipulation to the downside, informal, to sweep out some internal liquidity and make our 1-minute rejection block. It was also a 3-minute rejection block, and they lined up perfectly together, which out can we indicate that it is even a stronger one. And we had some confluations that we were gonna rally up again, because we filled again here an inverse, a fair value gap. We didn't inverse it, but we just rallied off about it. We had a little chop right here, but that's okay, because we knew our high time frame PDA array was gonna get filled and formal to move lower out of it. So this was a 1 to 10.28 risk reward. And yeah, that was basically the analysis that we did, and that's also why I took the trade. So yeah, first trade recap. There's probably gonna be a lot more, and also some learning videos in the future, but first we're gonna stick with the basic stuff and just implementing some strategy and some trade recaps. All right.